welcome to another Monday. You know what it is, Isaac? It's Monday. Not our preferred day, but we're here. Plug Talk Sports live show, episode 14. We got a duo today. We
Oh,
got
my bad.
just me and
Hey.
Isaac. Steven, of course, is parading. He was a little shy. Steven didn't want to come on the show today. He you know took his
Wasn't
L's,
he
his
going to the
mixed
Keys or
wins.
something? He was going. Oh
I
no,
don't know,
he's
man.
helping somebody move
Yeah,
in
Steven's
this
been
weather.
gone.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's been gone for like 2 weeks. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna have Jordan hopping on here anytime soon. But for the both of us, obviously you guys know me, Danny Torres. I got here Isaac.
Yep.
We're gonna start off with our usual segment, how we usually start things off here. Plug of the week and shameless plug. Which one do you want to start with first this week? You want to go with negative or positive?
I'll start out with something positive, and that's my plug of the week. Usually, my plugs of the week are sports related or they're lighthearted and stuff like that. This, I think, is something positive in the long run. Hopefully, although I do feel that as things progress, things might get ugly, but we just got to support. And my plug of the week is really what's going on in Cuba.
Yeah.
I think that it's something that if you are an American citizen, you should care about it too, because it's an island that's 90 miles away. And if you live in South Florida, you should even care even more because it's so much part of the community. What's been happening with Venezuela was bad. It's just been happening in Latin America and now, especially in Cuba. And we can talk about forever about it, but that's my plug of the week. I feel empowered as a Cuban American to just speak out, and that's my plug of the week.
My plug of the week is going to be Richard Branson heading into space finally, and he sent it was pretty cool. He sent a cool message when he reached space. He always dreamed as a boy to make it to space, and he was finally able to accomplish that. So that's gonna be my plug of the week. I love space exploration. I love NASA. I love SpaceX. So every time to see something like that, see a rocket go up into space, it's a remarkable thing.
Didn't Jeff Bezos do something like that recently? Where he went up in a rocket or plane?
It was like the billionaires. The billionaires are doing a race to space, and Richard Branson was the first one to do it. Jeff Bezos is trying to get there.
Okay. I thought he did it or something, or he was planning to. I guess not.
Yeah. So I'll start with my shameless plug. I'm gonna go after what you said. Cuba. For me, what Cuban president said that he wanted his military to go out there and start killing unarmed protesters. I actually just saw today. I was reading that he instructed the young military members, because you have to do some sort of military service.
Right.
If they didn't do what they were instructed, that he was not going to allow them to go to university. And what he instructed them to do was kill unarmed protesters. So basically if you don't kill them, you're not going to be able to get an education and go to school. And like everything you said, man, like having a Cuban background and being in South Florida, like it's enough is enough. It's been 62 years of misery and this communist regime, and it needs to stop. People can't even get Advil in pharmacy stores. Here, like Advil runs like water in pharmacy stores. It's such a basic need, such an easy thing for us to get, and for them, they can't even get it. I think a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is about COVID." This is not about COVID. This is not about COVID vaccines. This is something that's been going on for 60 years.
If anything, COVID has exacerbated all the issues that they have already, and you're starting to see too a lot of the military, a lot of the police forces dressing as protesters to confuse everybody, to just destroy the movement. And so I think that the longer that we keep as many eyeballs, as many ears to this issue, I think the better. 62 years, and what can we do? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all the answers, but I know one thing is definitely be an advocate and speak. If you don't want to go to the streets with pots and pans, and really make your voice heard, that's fine too. But on social media, you can make your voice heard too. So, yeah.
I mean, and this is not as a disrespect, but for everybody this past summer with everything we saw with the Black Lives Matter protests and stuff like that, keep that same energy for the Cubans. That same energy everyone had, keep that same energy and pass information, because this is not about racial injustice or anything like that. This is an actual humanitarian crisis that's happening right in front of our eyes. People are starving, not getting food. Yes, there's COVID issues. The hospitals are overflowing, and people are legit dying in their houses because they can't go to a hospital, and they don't have the proper. Even if you're in a hospital, they don't have the proper care and the proper needs and equipment at the hospital. So it is a humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, it's you're looking at Yemen, you're looking at just the other third world countries where totalitarian, like Syria, you're seeing the government hurt its own people, and those same protesters, when they get shot or when they get beat, they don't get medical attention. They're also being turned away at the hospitals. That's what I saw today. And that's just, it's me, we're just regular people. We don't have all the answers, but what we can do is just, talk about it. And also, there's also a big, debate with the embargo and all that stuff. And we don't have to get, too into it. But, it's like, it's not even about that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people saying, well, the embargo, let's not talk about the embargo. Let's talk about the root issue, which is the regime. And,
And it's funny because the regime, their excuse to all this happening is, it's the Americans' fault. They blame it on us for everything they've done, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absurd, and it needs to end. The regime needs to be taken out. And I think that if it's going to happen, now is the time. We've never seen in the 62 years of this regime that the entire country has come out together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've seen the video of, like, La Habana, just, like, full of people. Yeah. Like, it's not one guy with a sign, and that's how it started. That's how it started with, El Movimiento de San Isidro. And again, I don't want to take up the whole segment, but I'll say that. It started with one guy, but now it's the entire streets are being filled by people raising their voices and stuff. So we've never seen that.
It's something important that I felt like we needed, both as Cubans, is something important that we needed to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's therapy, man, because it's rough out there. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you and I, obviously having our friendship aside from the show, we've been talking about it the last 48 hours, and we expressed our frustrations to each other about seeing what's going on, and so we understand, and our people understand, and hopefully the rest of the United States and the rest of the world understand the pain that our people have been going through for 62 years. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to get into sports. UFC 264. Oh man, I'm not holding back in this one, man. I'm coming in.
You don't have to.
I'm not holding back, man. And I really wish that Steven was here, because Steven triggered me, man. Steven really triggered me after the fight, and his little text messages. It really triggered me, and so did Jordan. Jordan said some stuff. Jordan was spewing manure out of his mouth on Twitter, and it really bothered me. But you know what? We'll start from the beginning. We'll get into the main event at the end, and that's when I will just release my feelings and my inner thoughts.
I mean, I have before we get to the meat of it, right? And you and I know, everyone watching knows what we're gonna talk about, the main fight, But I did take a little, note and just I got something from the rest of the card. And I would say number one was, Sean O'Malley dominating Chris Moutinho. Yeah. It was not – everybody knew, you know what I'm saying? If you're insane if you went out there and you bet money on Chris Moutinho. I mean, I understand the odds were pretty stacked against him. Sean O'Malley is a decent fighter. He just the last really decent fighter he fought and he picked and he fought was Chito Vera, and we all know how that ended. The hype train, the sugar show was slowed down. You know what I'm saying? But he put a good performance on, but just big shout out to Chris Moutinho. My shameless plug was actually going to be Herb Dean because I felt like he ended the fight a little bit too early. There goes Jordan Hernandez. What's up, bro?
Hey, sorry I'm late, guys.
No, you're good, man. We just started. We were talking about Cuba a little bit, and we just started on our first little segment here, UFC 264. Continue on, Isaac, Sean O'Malley.
Oh yeah. So and Jordan, I don't know if you saw the Sean O'Malley and Chris Moutinho fight, but and I was gonna ask you, Danny, too. Did you think it was a early stoppage or anything like that?
I'm gonna get my headphones real quick.
Sure.
Honestly, I gotta give props to Moutinho, man.
Oh, me too.
That guy was taking shot after shot in the face, and the fact that he still stood there standing and was asking for more and continued.
He pointed at one point.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this guy's a beast. This guy's an absolute beast for taking shot after shot to the face. It was like a brick wall. Like, get knocked in the face, and you just stand there, and he's like half is bleeding. But honestly, I personally think it was a good call to stop stoppage. The fight. Dude, I mean, at that point, he had more than 200 shots to the head already.
Yeah.
And we know what could happen when you take so many shots to the head. Like, it was a good call for me to stop the fight.
Okay. I agree, too. But, initially when I was watching it, I was like, damn, like, I wish Herb Dean would have let it go so that other Sean O'Malley goes and gets a legit TKO, because they gave him the TKO, but they didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? They had 30 seconds left. Not that Chris Moutinho was going to knock him out, but it's like, give him that chance where it's like, hey, he can add that to his resume. Yeah, he lost the fight, but it wasn't a TKO victory. Loss.
But Jordan, what do you think? If someone receives 200 shots to the head already, do you think it's time to call the fight?
I mean, for health purposes, I would definitely call a fight. That's
okay. It's reasonable. I'm just asking. I'm just peering into, that side of the argument. I'm not a sadistic guy trying to see people get, drop dead on the canvas.
Yeah, I'm sure for entertainment purposes, everybody wants to see him get punched a whole bunch of times, but we have to really consider, health purposes, and a lot of sports are taking health protocols and stuff like that. So I think, you just have to call it because it's dangerous. So many hits to the head, you could potentially die, and then that's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
So I think it's just call it.
And then we have like a Rocky reincarnation scene here where if he dies, he dies, and he just the whole moment, his whole moment all over again. It's not worth it. It's not. Well, hey, what about Greg Hardy, man? And I was so happy. I was like, this is why this guy, I'm so happy the Cowboys let him go, because this guy, what a clown, man. The guy goes in there, he thinks he's a badass, and then just gets absolutely knocked out cold.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him for obvious reasons, with his legal trouble and stuff like that, domestic violence, history.
Yeah.
I just never been a big fan of that. The fact that the Cowboys even, took a chance on him after all that, I mean, I don't know, bro. But I'm not going to get into that. What I will say is it was good to see him just get knocked out, bro.
Yeah, by a pretty good fighter, bro.
That guy is nasty. I have to look his name up now. He was, by the way, this tells you, like, this guy's insane. He was, like, drinking out of a shoe. Like,
yeah.
Like, even after
the guy he fought or Greg Hardy?
No, the guy that he fought was drinking beer out of people's shoes.
Yeah,
and I saw that.
As he exited,
he took like 5 more shots out of people's shoes.
It's just insanity.
That's
insanity. Yeah, that guy's legit, man. He's been knocking people out just like that, like in other fights. So,
no, but it was crazy though. Greg Hardy, like his complete left eye was completely shut.
Yeah, bro.
Shut.
So he didn't
when
stand
you're
a
out,
chance.
you're out.
Wasn't it?
That's how it is with those fights, like heavyweights. Like it's just just dudes who just can just one punch you and that's it. Like, and you could miss your shot and then that's it.
Hey, but it's not pretty. Like from a viewer perspective, it's not pretty, man. Like those heavyweight fights, man. You see,
yeah, they usually take forever. Like, especially
and not
in the
even
later
that, man.
rounds.
Did you see all that? Did you see all that meat moving around them and stuff like that? It was just horrible. It was not good to look at.
Nah, bro. You can't be superficial like that, bro. You gotta be respecting people's bodies, dog.
It like all this blubber moving around. It looked like two walruses fighting at SeaWorld.
Oh my god. Fighting for the last Snickers bar or something.
Hey, you're not you when you're hungry.
The other fight that I liked too from this card was the Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson fight, which I thought would have been very interesting. It turned out to be just very one-sided. Once the two fighters kind of got the rhythm down and everything. Stephen Thompson, he's a karate guy, and Gilbert Burns is just this huge, strong dude, or not really huge because he was actually a lot shorter, but just a very. He could wrestle you, obviously, as you saw in that fight, but he can also take it to the ground and choke you out, which he tried to do that as well. So shout out Gilbert Burns. He wanted Masvidal after the fight, which I thought was interesting. So, I think he gets Masvidal gets eaten alive by Gilbert Burns if they fight.
I agree.
That's just my opinion.
Agree. And dude, honestly, Thompson looked so much smaller than Gilbert Burns in there.
Yeah.
And I was going for Thompson because I really do like him. What was it? The Wonder Boy? Yeah, Wonder Boy.
Wonder Man. Like Kobe Covington.
Yeah. And I was going for him, but no chance, man. Gilbert Burns is so much bigger.
It's just like with karate, right? You have to get the timing right. And some of those kicks, they take too much time to line up. And by the time that if they don't connect, you're either just going to get a big counter punch and you're taking it, or that guy's going for the takedown and you're going to the ground. So, and a big guy like Gilbert Burns, he's a dog, man. Even if you saw the Usman fight, of course he lost the fight because Usman's levels higher than anybody else in that division, I think. But Gilbert Burns is just, it was made for him, basically.
I think Usman is pound for pound the best fighter throughout all divisions right now in UFC.
Yeah,
guaranteed. I think, in my opinion.
Actually, let me ask you: above Israel Adesanya?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
I would agree. Usman is just, I don't know. I'm not a big UFC guy, but I've seen him fight, and he just looks unbeatable.
The Nigerian Nightmare.
I would love to see them both fight, though. But that probably won't happen.
Who? Gilbert Burns?
Israel and
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Israel, he's a taller guy. I don't think he can go down that way, but we'll see.
Hey man, but you know what time it is.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
It's time. And man, I can't wait to let loose because Jordan had me triggered, man. Both Steven and Jordan had me triggered. I saw after that fight, I was enjoying the fight.
This guy.
Oh my god! Let me finish.
Go for it.
Let me finish. I hopped on Twitter after this fight. I was enjoying the fight, Sports Grill. I look at my phone and I saw all the manure that Jordan was spitting through his trigger fingers on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? I gotta hit up this man personally and be like, hey, Monday, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm letting loose. No, I'm not holding back. And here we are. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, 3 main event. It's just.
Go ahead. What's your take?
Conor McGregor is. I don't want to see him fight anymore. If betting was legal in Florida, I would be rich. I wish I could bet against Conor McGregor every fight. Like, he's done. He's done. I don't want to see him fight anymore. His ankle's broke. And he's lucky his ankle's broken, number one, because he would have gotten knocked out. But Dustin Poirier was he was elbowing him. Bro, the guy was done. He is so lucky his ankle broke. Next round, it was over. And he's also lucky his ankle broke because now he gets another fight because he gets to use the excuse of his ankle broke. So his career is going to continue. So he's lucky his ankle broke. I don't want to see this guy fight anymore. Like, every time I see him fight, everybody hypes the crowd. He's all talk. Every time I go see him fight, he loses.
But you go see him fight, right?
I don't see him fight. I do not pay for him. All the fans.
You didn't see the fight?
No, I did see the fight. I didn't pay for it, though.
I knew. You think I paid for it? Daniel, did you pay for it?
I did not pay for it.
Sports girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
The fans love it. He's all talk. He brings money to the UFC. The fans like him. I don't know. I guess he's just like cocky, so everybody likes him. I don't know why he just loses. Like,
that's my next question for you. Why do you think is it that people like him? It's because
it has to be the shit talking. But like, how could you like somebody who shit talks and then they go into a fight and get their ass whooped?
That's
like,
because you
Ocho Cinco, Bleacher Report betting. Ocho Cinco went to the press conference and said, "Should I bet on you?" And he literally said to his face, "I'm going to kill this man." If you're gonna say that, there's nobody that agrees. He looked like he was gonna kill anybody after what Dustin. Every time I see Conor McGregor go to the ground, he looks like he can't wrestle. I've seen him wrestle. It looks like he can't do that. If he goes to the ground, he's in trouble. So
he can't do what Gilbert Burns would do with jiu-jitsu. He's supposed to be like a high-level jiu-jitsu,
Conor
guy.
can fight standing up. When I've seen his fights, he looks like he could hang standing up. Once he gets on his back, I feel like it's over for him. But
I think that
I don't know how he got out of the first round with all those elbows to the face. His ear was gushing blood. I don't know how he got out of that first round. But I mean, it sucks to win on a broken ankle like that. I mean,
which in the first place,
he was kicking a lot.
Should never be a win. This should be a no contest. You should not get a win because someone gets injured.
Although I do agree,
let's say we say there's no win, but you can't tell me if there has to be a winner that Dustin didn't win that first round.
First round,
he won the first round. First round, fight's over. Okay, he has to win. If it's even, okay, I would say, okay, fine. They want to do no contest, fine. But it was not close. Dustin had him.
Yeah, that's why it's TKO with doctor stoppage. The same thing with Nate Diaz and George Masvidal.
I truly wish he didn't break his ankle. I wish, because nobody wants to see that. For him personally, to like as a fan, like nobody wants to see somebody get hurt. First of all. And I think everybody wanted to see the second round. I wanted him to go to the second round and get knocked out. I'm tired of seeing Conor McGregor fight. Like, I wish I could bet against him, man. I would put all my money against him. Like, every time I see him fight, he loses. Like,
but that's because you've only seen like his last 4 fights in his career.
That's it. I've seen his last. When he became hyped, I said, you know what? Let me give this guy attention.
But the thing is,
the Mayweather thing was big. He lost. I knew he was going to lose.
He was hyped before you started watching him.
I know. When I started watching him, every time he loses. So, I mean, once he's lost how many fights? 3 out of the last 4?
Yes.
4 out of the last 7.
Okay, 4 out of the last 7. What is he going to say? Like, he's going to fight God knows who? Dustin again? I don't know, because he wants to fight him because his ankle broke, blah, 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 blah. What is he going to say in the press conference? What is he gonna say in the press conference? Oh, my ankle broke. You got lucky. Okay, that's what he's gonna say. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm tired of seeing this guy fight. But you know what? If he's gonna fight again, okay. I really wish I could bet against him because I would make so much money.
I think
I was going the first real fight I saw him. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's
I watched the boxing one versus Mayweather, whatever. But then I watched him. They're like, oh, he did pretty good, blah, 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 blah. So let's watch him UFC. I watch him fight Khabib. And Khabib just had him pinned on his back the entire time, and it looks like he was toying with him. Like, Conor had no business being in there. And then he fights I don't know who he fights next. Was it Cowboy or he fought somebody before Cowboy?
No, it was
He
Cowboy.
fought
after
Cowboy.
Khabib.
Yeah, I figured he'd beat him. I don't know. Everybody was saying Cowboy's old, blah, blah, blah. He won. Okay. And then he fights Dustin
Mm-hmm.
the first time?
Mm-hmm.
It was the second time.
Second time.
The second time. And he beats him, and then he wants to fight him again. And I don't know. Every time I see Conor fight, I'm just not impressed. After
I think
all the
something
hype, I don't know.
that like Dominic Cruz. I mean, I didn't honestly when that happened. I shut off my laptop and I went to bed. I'm like, it's too late. I'm too tired. This is ridiculous. What just happened? I'm going to sleep.
His ankle.
But yeah, like once the fight was over, and I didn't see any of the post fight stuff, any of the interviews, anything. So,
I'm with you.
but the day after, they put like on ESPN on the app, they put like Dominic Cruz, who's a former champion as well. He was talking about when you lose, you got to look at the reasons why you lost. You gotta see, the highlights, or like any sports team does. Anybody has to analyze, sports, whatever, has to go through the replays and see what happened, X, Y, Z, whatever, right? When you lose a fight, you gotta see and check your ego and see what can you fix. And you just said it, Jordan. His ground game has been non-existent his entire UFC career, and he's bet on that. And he hasn't grown that. Yes, he went for 2 guillotines, but what happened? Yes. He missed the guillotine, and with Dustin already on top of him, he's a heavier guy. He walks around a lot heavier than Conor does, and he's just hitting him with the ground and pound, hitting him with elbows, hitting him. And we see McGregor grabbing the glove, and we see McGregor just not really covering up, not shifting his hips, not doing any of the things that you would expect him to do at the level that he does jiu-jitsu. And, of course, he got mauled again with Khabib. He's never been a big wrestler, but he didn't make any adjustments again with the jiu-jitsu. And where did he get beat? He got beat on the feet, on the stand-up. And that hadn't happened in so many years. I feel like he hasn't truly adjusted his game. I think he's just been betting on his talent after all these years. Like maybe it's something cognitive. He just lost, the dog in him.
I agree.
He got the money and he got comfortable. I don't know.
I agree. He got paid with that Mayweather fight. And Khabib, that fight was so long ago, and he wasn't a good wrestler then. And it's been years, and he's every fight I watch, he's not good on his back. I don't know if I guess if he's getting paid that much, he doesn't really care. As long as he's getting paid, he's entertaining the fans.
He was the first one to take a shot. Remember, he had said that, like, the first one to take a shot is a bitch. He's the first one to take a shot. The first one to try to go for this guillotine attempt, this choke, after saying in the pre-fight stuff that he only counts knockouts. And then he leaves on a stretcher. It was just so ironic. Like, not to bash the guy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't want to bash anybody that gets injured. I've been injured before. I've injured my elbow. It's never been the same, playing sports. But, like, it's like this was the perfect story for any hater out there.
No. I agree. And I just feel like, he's taking a shot at Dustin's wife, like, while he's on the ground and his ankle's broken. Like, come on, man. Like, you just lost, and like you can't say anything. Like you just lost. You're not even defending yourself. You're just going at his wife.
He just went in defense.
That's just a low point. That's just a low point where you just like he knows he lost. Like he knows that first round he lost, and so he just goes to Dustin's wife. Like, come on, man. Like.
In his defense, in retaliation, he only said that because after Dustin won. After he snapped his ankle, he was parading around the octagon like he had just knocked the guy out. When in reality, he won because this guy couldn't continue the fight. So he was talking shit first. So obviously, if this guy's talking shit first, down to that level.
I mean, after all the shit talking Conor does, I would expect Dustin, after they call him the winner, to talk shit. I mean, it's a fight. But
this shit talking's been going on for months. since January.
I know, I understand that, but like, you could talk shit about each other and stuff like that. Like, okay, I just beat you, yada yada. He could talk shit, but like, why is he going after his wife? That has nothing to do with this fight. This has nothing to do with why they're in the octagon. So I don't know. Maybe if he would have said in the press conference, "Oh, you're lucky, my ankle broke," while he's sitting there and they're interviewing, "Oh, you're lucky, my ankle broke. I would have whooped your ass." Okay, you could talk shit like that, but if you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, your wife," but like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I just think it's unnecessary, and that's, I don't know. I don't agree with.
I have a theory. What if,
it's true,
like,
though?
no, like, what if, like, because did his family travel with him? I know he, like,
Connor,
he trained by himself.
Connor's family
Connor?
did not travel.
Were they there? Like,
They were
no.
not.
What if they were there? Maybe he would have been more tame. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know.
No, because if you saw in the last fight in January, his family was there, and we saw this really soft.
That's what I'm getting at.
Conor McGregor.
He gets into this mode, training for a couple months by himself in his big old city, isolating
the one
himself.
where he got knocked out against Dustin, right? Where he was all memes and stuff, sleeping and stuff.
Well, it was again the leg. It was again the leg problem. He fell. He took that punch, but he fell because his leg gave out.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was throwing so many kicks to start this fight, and I don't think his leg gave out like how it did in the second fight, but he was throwing a lot of kicks, and maybe his ankle was, and then it just got to a point where it couldn't take. He was throwing a lot of kicks,
which was interesting because Dustin Poirier did not check any of those leg kicks. He was letting Conor take those leg kicks, and who knows, man? Like again, that's why Conor went out in that last fight, is because he didn't check any of the leg kicks, and eventually after taking all those kicks, his leg gave out. So who knows, with Poirier, we just continue to let him take those leg kicks, what would have happened to his own leg?
I don't know, but he let the fight get to the ground, and he didn't make adjustments. Yeah, the leg kicking was good. I thought like that's one of the first things that I think probably anybody noticed was, oh, he's kicking. He's actually attacking the Dustin's leg, which was great. And I saw two videos. I don't know. Social media is really confusing right now because there's like a bunch of different videos circulating. But I saw one that it was where McGregor kicks his Dustin's elbow, and then that's where it caused like a fracture. But then I saw a different video where it was the kick before that, and McGregor like seemed to go for a calf kick, but he hit Dustin in the back of the thigh, and then that one seemed to be like a fracture. So, is it that McGregor's getting old and his body can't do it? I don't know. But I feel like right now, just my opinion, they shouldn't even fight again. I think you should give Dustin the rules are the rules, and he got the fake TKO victory. Move on, no fourth fight. Move on to Charles Oliveira and get the title shot there, and then maybe Michael Chandler fights McGregor or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? In the top five.
I think what will happen is, this is what will happen. The Poirier fight will happen again because that's what Dana White says is going to happen. And it's personal now. It's personal.
The UFC is all about entertainment. I feel like Dustin will fight. Maybe he'll fight somebody else before he fights Conor, and then he'll fight Conor again. So
I think he'll still fight again. Yeah, but just later.
Dustin, I feel like Dustin will fight one more person, and then Conor will be healthy after 6 weeks, and all this training and his camp is good, and then he'll fight him again. But I think the UFC is all entertainment. I would love for him not to fight him again because I'm sick and tired of the same thing over and over again, because that's it. He already beat him twice. He beat him twice. But UFC is entertainment. I have a gut feeling they're going to make it happen again.
What would make sense for Conor McGregor would be for him to fight in a trilogy fight with Nate Diaz.
Okay.
I think that would make sense. I think that would be the right move for Conor McGregor.
I'd like to see that happen.
Again, this is personal now. Even Dustin was like, Yeah, Dustin was like, if we got to go out and fight in the sidewalk to finish this, we will. So it's personal now, and both of them want to fight each other again.
Yeah, and then Dustin already showed he's willing to just get the bag rather than the title shot right away. So that could happen.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it move on. That's just what I would like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. After watching the second and third fight, I just feel like there's nothing that can convince me that Conor will beat Dustin. After the second and third fight, I just don't see where he stands a chance. I mean, he has a chance, but I just think Dustin, he's proved that from the second fight and from the first round of the last fight that he's just better than Conor.
And again, of course, Dustin's going to take it because Conor has such a more marketable brand and more wide world brand than Dustin, that Dustin is just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to continue fighting Conor to get more money.
Yeah, maybe. So Charles Oliveira is a champion?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I agree Dustin should fight this guy. I don't know if they'll put Conor to fight Dustin for the title, because I don't really agree with that. But that would make a whole bunch of money. Conor fighting Dustin for the fourth time for a title fight, I feel like that would make a whole bunch of money. That would be crazy, but I don't feel like Conor deserves that shot at a title. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
His main goal when he came back to UFC after fighting Mayweather is that he wanted to be champion one more time in his career.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Conor's goal. Yeah, his goal was
how
to
old
be
is Conor McGregor?
Okay. So I just looked
32.
up the UFC rankings.
He's 32?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Still got some time.
So here's 1 through 15 in that division, and Conor, I'm assuming they'd have to update this, but that's interesting too. Conor and Tony Ferguson.
Moved up.
That would be crazy.
He moved up because Conor was number 6.
Well, I'm gonna just stop sharing this because if they moved them up, what's the reason?
The reason is to keep him involved.
To bring in the money.
I just see like Dustin number 2, and you have McGregor number 5, and it's like you're just holding up the entire division. I think Oliveira's chilling right now. He just won, I think, in the last couple months. Earlier this year, he won the title, so he's chilling for at least a couple more months. But he's going to be looking to fight in December. So I don't know. I want to see him fight somebody like Dustin, who's good on the feet just as much as he is. And
I will defend my guy. But when I see something that is not correct, I will step up. So recently, when he was training for this fight, I was like, "Nah, Conor, come on, that was too far." Like he was talking shit to Usman, saying he would gain weight and fight Usman, and I'm like,
I saw that.
You would get murdered if you fought Usman. And I think it's psychological at this point. It is really psychological. It's in his head. He's in his head 100%.
Yeah, when he was saying Khabib has done nothing in the sport, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Of course he beat you as number 1, but he's gone on a crazy streak. Beat guys like Justin Gaethje, beat guys like Dustin, and just taking them down to the ocean. I'm not a Khabib, mega fan who wants to bash on McGregor, but he's definitely done something for the sport.
Well, here's the thing: no one's gonna pay to watch. I told Jordan this. No one. When's the last time you heard someone say, "Oh, I'm gonna pay a pay-per-view to watch a Khabib fight"?
I don't pay for pay-per-view, so I don't know.
You know why? Because people don't want to sit there and, like Jordan said, it's entertainment. People don't want to sit there for 5 rounds and watch Khabib just be on the floor the entire time. Nobody wants to watch that.
Hey, let's put Khabib against Usman. Let's do that.
Oh my
God.
God.
Do that.
Usman wins.
No.
You don't think so?
I think
I think
I
Khabib.
think that'd be a great fight.
I think
It
that'd
would
be a great fight.
See, I like that because Usman or Khabib is undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not talking all this shit. Conor has lost, like you said, 4 to 7, and he is just talking so much crap. It's like, at what point does he stop? Like, he's talking shit like Danny said to Usman and stuff. Like, we all know Usman will end him in 30 seconds. Like, probably worse than what he did to Masvidal, and what he did to Masvidal was bad.
Danny
that was
just
bad.
I don't know about 30 seconds.
You don't think he'll end Conor in 30 seconds?
I think he'll end him for sure.
He on the
In
big
the first round for sure.
First round.
In the
okay.
first round
First
for sure. I can agree with that.
I think it's
Conor-
gonna take him. He got knocked out
Conor,
like Justin
like-
cold sleep.
Yeah.
And he's still
Yeah.
talking. Like, he's still talking all this smack. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what it's gonna take for him to really just stop. I don't think he's ever gonna stop it at that point. Once you get knocked out cold, like Masvidal, he got knocked out, and he was saying Usman got me, he beat me, and he was humble.
It
I
was
saw
the
the
first time he
interview
got
with
knocked out. Yeah.
yeah, and he was saying that he got him clean and he lost, and it was a good hit. Like, that is understandable. Like, okay, like, we get it. That's true. And then Conor gets knocked out, and he's like talking all this smack, and I don't know.
Again,
I'm just
because
tired of seeing him.
it's all psychological, because I think at this point people have been saying, "Oh, we want the old Conor back. We want the old Conor back." And it's almost now that he's talking all this shit because he's forcing it. Like, it's not happening naturally, it's forcing it.
Yeah, I feel like he has to do it as well, even though we don't agree with it. Like, he has to do it to make his money. And whatever.
I saw like a
I think it's
tweet.
bad for the sport, but for
don't think
entertainment,
so.
it's good. You don't think it's bad for the sport? Okay.
No.
I mean,
and
if
that's
you,
true. Like, Dustin was like, "Oh, he was saying, he was gonna kill me, and you don't say stuff like that." I'm like, shut up, bro. you just take the dub. That's it. But I don't know. I think, like, immediately after he broke his leg, he started selling the next fight. Like, that to me is just genius. From a very cynical standpoint, that's like, wow.
And Ronda Rousey applauded it on Twitter. She was like, "That was genius."
Yeah.
and I agree, but I don't think it's good for the sport. That's like saying what Logan Paul is doing is good for the sport of boxing. I don't think it's good for the sport. He just wants to fight anybody who gives him a chance, the Paul brothers.
But he's an
I don't think it's
MMA
good for
guy, at least.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess.
You have to remember that this guy did transcend the entire UFC. The UFC is where it is because of Conor McGregor.
I think, and also the game or the sport will be fine once Conor moves on, when he does move on, because it's unforgiving. Who knows? Maybe he does come back next fight and wins. But who knows if he doesn't, and it happens in a brutal way. We've seen Donald Cerrone, like, he's a zombie. The moment he walks into the ring, he's dead already. Because like the guy just doesn't have it in him to win anymore. I forgot who Donald Cerrone lost to, but you look at the fight and ends in the first round, and he's like this, but he's not throwing any punches. He's just very defensive. Before you know it, he just gets knocked out because he just doesn't have it in him.
It's confidence. It's just gone. It's gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard to get that back.
I don't know about McGregor, though. I think for him, it's definitely not confidence. Because I feel like he brings that out within himself, but it's definitely something he hasn't tweaked in his training. Maybe his sparring partners, they need to be changed. I don't know what it is, but he has not made the adjustments he needs to win. Huh?
I think he needs to get on his back and have a coach who's just going to help him get out of the positions, the bad positions he gets in. He just gets in bad positions, and you're just like, all right, here it goes again. Bad spot. Stuck in a corner against the freaking fence. And
he probably trusts his chin a little too much, too. That's probably what it is.
I think that he he's trusting too much. What has worked for him all his career is
Facts.
knocking people out,
In the
and
first round.
He's relying on that, and
I
he
also
thinks
think
he
he's
can continue
relying
to do it.
on. I think he's also relying on to intimidate his opponent with all this talk and stuff like that. And they interviewed
It doesn't
Dustin.
work
He's
anymore.
like, yeah, they interviewed Dustin after the fight, and he said, yeah, the first time I fought him, the way he spoke and all this, I actually got scared. But then after that, it doesn't faze me anymore because it doesn't faze him anymore. So that's what I think. He talks all this smack to try to get in people's head and look scary, and then there he goes, getting his ass beat.
I just think that, yeah. I think from here, honestly, if he trains, he comes back, it'll probably be a fourth Poirier fight.
I
Probably.
think so
Most
too.
likely, it'll be a fourth Poirier fight. And it's like, till when, though? Like, till when? Do they want the fight to go? I don't get it. Do they want the fight to go to the 5 rounds for them to say, okay, we accomplished this, we finished this?
Well, the main
I
card
think
is usually 5 rounds. That's why.
Yeah.
I just think they wanted. If somebody would have gotten knocked out, there wouldn't be a fourth fight.
Yeah. I think that's what they want. They want someone to knock someone
They want
out.
a knockout. Yeah, they want a knockout. The second one, I guess, wasn't good enough. So
Now,
he put him to sleep.
Listen.
Like, this guy was a meme on Twitter. What more do you want?
My dad's an absolute joker, because my dad is not a fan of boxing or UFC, and he refuses
What a shame.
he refuses to watch any of these things because he calls it highway robbery. He says we're all fools because they're just taking our money. And
No, I agree.
They're taking my Wi-Fi, but that's about it.
They're not taking my money. But, like, all these people pay God knows how much to go to this arena to watch, I mean, the couple fights, but obviously they want to watch the Conor McGregor Dustin fight, and then for it to be over in 5 minutes. So all this hype, all this talk for months, and then to go get dressed, get this hype all day, and then 5 minutes.
Usman and Masvidal? That was like one of the shortest events. The first 2, leg injuries. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I think the last 3 were like just really quick knockouts. Last 3 fights on the card. Crazy.
I agree. It is for entertainment purposes, and it makes money, so they're gonna continue doing it. Like,
it's a business. Yeah. My dad was like, you know who's my favorite guy in all of this? And I'm like, who? He's like, Dana White. You know why? Because he's the one that never loses.
True.
He does it. Doesn't at all.
He's making all of this money, and I'm like, he says something. I'm like, okay, whoa, relax. He's like, who knows? Maybe Conor, since January, since the last fight, was practicing how to break his leg. I'm like, what? He was like, yes. He's like, it's all set up. He's like, it's all set up so they can get the next fight going, so they can steal your money again.
No, I don't think it's that far, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. With boxing, I feel like boxing has fallen off because, I don't know, all we see now is YouTubers and TikTok stars, and I don't know. It's just not the same. UFC, I would consider it more
legit.
I don't know. Yeah, legit, I guess, as of now. Well, I guess, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Legit, I don't know, man. Yeah. Legit, the other day, Mayweather with the Logan Paul fight was like, oh, it's easy money. I can't turn it down. And it's just like he's laughing at us. Like, he's laughing at us that we're the idiots that would legit just pay money for that. And he just can't refuse because he's going to take the easy money.
For sure. Absolutely. Anybody would. And if he didn't do it, that was actually stupid if he wouldn't take the money. It's a fight. It doesn't do anything to his record or his boxing career. And people want to see it. So, of course you do it.
I don't even think he tried, to be honest.
I think he tried in some points. But at the same time, Logan Paul's a big dude. Mayweather's not that big. I don't know, he's a big guy. But, I mean, it wasn't weird, like... I really wanted Mayweather to knock him out. But Mayweather's what, like 40, 50?
I think it's 50.
Yeah,
50 years old, fighting a 20-year-old. Like, yeah, I don't think he was gonna knock him out, but I would hope he would have. But
I was praying for that man because I was so tired of him.
Let's put Canelo versus
44. He's 44.
He's 44.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let's put Canelo versus Logan Paul, and then Canelo will knock him out.
Oh, that would be so awesome. I love Canelo. He's awesome.
And Canelo's much younger.
That's an interesting one. Canelo. So Mayweather defeated Canelo, but it wasn't the Canelo. It's the Canelo now. So that would be really. It would have been really interesting if Mayweather fought him when Canelo's in his prime.
I think Mayweather was just taking a sweet stroll with him. He's just taking it easy, letting him win or letting him compete in the rounds. But Canelo will knock him out. Yeah.
Oh, Canelo is younger, right?
Yeah.
He's younger.
Yeah, I mean, him up.
It is what it is. But I don't know. The sport of boxing is like has been in sort of, I don't want to say shambles, but like it has been in a good spot recently. It wasn't like the De La Hoya, Mayweather.
Yeah.
Canelo's only 30.
Pacquiao. Canelo's only 30.
He's
Guaranteed
30
he will knock Logan Paul out. And Mayweather's 14 years older than him, so it's it's really hard. I don't know. The sport of boxing is not in a good spot right now. They need some real fighters. Like, I don't know.
I just look. There's too many belts. There's too many belts. You can't even keep track of. Too many names. The top, the list of fighters that compete. It's too long. You don't. And then the thing is, like, they always change. Nobody goes on a crazy run anymore like they used to. So it's like it's nothing really that keeps the casual fan, unless you're a hardcore fan.
This guy just got COVID.
Oh, that's right, Tyson Fury. Which that is another kind of the same thing where like these two fighters are just fighting again.
and again, yeah. And then this guy gets COVID, and now it's postponed.
And it's just
Isn't this like situation. Time?
Third. I think the first one was majority draw, which everybody was like, "Oh, it was rigged," blah blah. Then the second one, Tyson Fury knocked out Wilder, and then Wilder was like, "Oh my!" The suit he was wearing some crazy suit before, like walking onto the ring. You remember that? He was like, "Oh, it was too heavy for me, and my legs were tired." It was too heavy.
Yeah. Okay, if it was too heavy, take it off. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, oh, it was too heavy. It's not mandatory to wear it. Take the damn thing off. I don't know, dude. I feel like this COVID thing. Watch them fight Tyson Fury. I don't know. Let's say he gets knocked out. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I've been feeling bad because I got COVID." Like, watch. I already feel like this is how it's gonna go. Wilder's gonna win, and then
my training was messed up.
COVID has. I got these symptoms. I haven't been feeling the best. Like, and then they're gonna fight another time. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be like, I remember sparring and I was getting chills.
I just want to see Fury sing American Pie again. when he sings American Pie.
Hey, I seen him in person. He was at an Inter Miami game.
How tall is he?
Dude,
that guy, huge.
That guy is a big dude, and he's a scary dude too.
Wow, I can imagine.
I looked at him and I was like, yeah, Connor.
Wilder's a big guy too. I thought Wilder would beat Fury, but Wilder is also just a one hit type of guy, like trying to knock you out clean, cold.
Right. You seen that meme? He's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
when like Wilder, that one thing doesn't work, let's say it's over.
Yeah. Wilder I've seen his highlights and stuff like that, and he's just, dude, that guy is crazy. But Fury is just as big, and I think he's a better overall boxer than than Wilder. So I think that's why he won last fight.
My birthday is tomorrow, and there's nothing more that I love there's nothing more I love for my birthday than to have an octagon and go one-on-one in the octagon, a couple rounds with Jordan.
I referee that.
Yeah,
I do like Herb Dean.
I would love for you to referee that.
Do you guys remember in the fight where Herb Dean is just like there standing, and McGregor's like falling back. He falls against the cage. Clearly, his leg is broken, and he's just there looking at him. Dustin takes 4 or 5 shots extra. I'm like, what the hell is going on? That infuriated me. That's when I shut off like the laptop. I was like, I'm done.
I was worried Dustin was gonna freaking give him some nasty punches there. Like his ankle was broken. He was just sitting there, hopeless, helpless. Yep.
Trying to cover his face.
I was like, oh my god, Dustin. I saw his ankle. I was like, oh my god, they haven't done anything. I feel like Dustin was about to give him
honestly
2 clean hits. And
I think Jordan would be perfect for a sport like UFC or boxing. Honestly, not because of the fighting skills, but like I've known Jordan for a while now, since high school. And Jordan can engage with you in the biggest trash talk ever.
I could do like entertainment, but like fighting, like I'm not a fighter, dude.
That's the good thing. That's the point.
Nothing for this sport.
I get entertained with the trash talking, but the fighting part is not me. I'm not a fighter. I don't like to fight. But dude, I don't know. It's all for entertainment. I don't know. I would love to.
Jordan would sit up there and just infuriate people all day, man. Honestly,
I could piss some people off. So I will just have somebody fight for me, and I'll just do the trash talking. Oh man.
Seriously though, you should have seen back in the day in high school. Jordan used to really infuriate people. Like I already knew Jordan. Like I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning when I first met Jordan, he infuriated me a couple times. But then I had like a majority of my classes with him, all 4 years. I'd say by the second, third year, I was really like, I know Jordan already. It's not gonna bother me anymore. Now it's just for fun. But for some people, they really got mad at Jordan, and they're like, I'm not gonna talk to this kid.
Some people really take it. Yeah, some people really would take it personal. I'm like, dude, I'm just like take it, get like dish it back. Come on, like.
Did you guys ever get into fights in school?
Yeah, bro.
You gotta have at least one or two.
Danny, were you in with? I had a P class junior year. I don't know if you were in P class with me, but there was like one kid who like we would play basketball, and he would just trash talk me all the time. But I was so much better than him, but he would just talk trash. And so I remember there was one time we were changing, and he like went up to me and he like tried swinging at me. Like he like fake swung and got this close, and I didn't flinch. I didn't move. I just stood there. And then he looked at me and he thought that I was going to like move or something. And I said, I mean, I know we're on podcast, but I told him like, I wish you fucking would. I would embarrass you in front of everybody here. And he never swung at me, but it's like, I would just talk. Like, I'm not a physical push you. You know, I could talk and get you to that point where you want to just like let the anger out.
Yeah. Jordan is that guy that when you're in the basketball court, he's trying to psychologically. He's like a Patrick Beverly. He's just a nuisance. He's just a nuisance all day and will psychologically mess you up.
Yeah, that was back then.
That's Jordan for you, man.
I love trash talk. I mean, like, cause. Like, especially, like, playing basketball, like, if I was, like, terrible and I sucked, like, I really wouldn't trash talk. But, like, I'll score and then I'll be, like, trash talking. I'll play defense and I'll trash talk. I feel like trash talking is so much fun, especially when you got to know who to trash talk to. Because if you play somebody who's a lot better than, I'm not Conor McGregor that's just talking shit, for no matter who I play. But...
I think I was a lot more of a quiet kid back then compared to what I am now.
You definitely were.
I was pretty quiet. Like I would dish it sometimes. Like if it was something that really infuriated me, which Jordan knew how to do very well. Like I would just be sitting there minding my own business, like getting ready for class. This kid will walk in because at that time I wanted to go to North Carolina for school. Minding my own business. I haven't even said a word. This kid will walk in, sit down, and be like, yo, North Carolina is so trash, man. And I'm like, dude.
Dude, sports was talking sports, especially on a Monday after Saturday, college football and all this stuff. It was good times. Yeah, Danny he's a lot more outspoken now and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
it
was
is what it
quiet
is.
back then.
Okay.
I was really
No, so
quiet
was
back
I.
then.
I was quiet too.
I would just observe most of the time. I would just sit there and just laugh at all the trash Jordan was talking. But then I got involved at some points especially when they were talking about UM football,
Mm,
because that was the best. We had a lot
okay.
of UM fans.
UM is like Conor McGregor. They just all talk.
In the ACC, right? Oh God.
Yeah, in the ACC where they play Clemson. That's it.
Did you see? I think it was De'Aaron King's statement or something like that. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna beat Alabama."
He said, "Oh, he said that."
Yeah, I saw it on
Oh,
Twitter.
we'll have to Google that.
He was like,
Dude,
we're gonna beat Alabama, and I was like, oh god.
Like I said, if betting was legal in Florida, I would bet against UM, and I would be so rich.
Well, bro, call our boy Ronnie DeSantis. Call him up, be like, yo, help me out.
For real, they need to legalize freaking online betting, DraftKings type thing. Like, come on, like, dude,
That's easy money right there.
easy money. Like, there's no chance in hell UM has a chance. They're lucky. They're lucky that Waddle, Mac Jones, the guy who won the Heisman, what's his name? Devontae Smith. They're lucky that they're gone. They're Najee Harris. They're lucky. They're lucky that they missed them by 1 year. But it's all right. It's gonna be a blowout either way.
Oh, I can't wait.
I wish betting was legal, because it's. I mean, but I guess people have gambling problems and stuff. I don't really know.
Danny has gambling.
I have gambling problems, bro.
What you played? A lottery ticket?
No, man. I just bet on Conor McGregor. That's my problem.
Full circle. Bro. We just came full circle. I like that.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah, we went from Conor McGregor to Columbus to UM football, back to Conor McGregor.
Let's end the night on a trivia. Let's see if you guys can get this. I think Jordan will get it. It's a Columbus alumni.
All right, we'll see.
There is an Olympian. One medal in the Sochi Olympics. Don't say it yet. Wait till
all right, I know the answer.
Sochi Olympics, I think it was like inline skating or something like that. And last year played baseball for the Miami Marlins. Who is it?
I don't know. It's a Marlins question. I don't know.
Well, it's an Olympics question too.
True. How long ago was this? I don't even know.
2014, right? Was Sochi Olympics?
Sochi was 2014.
Yeah. Come on, Isaac. Aren't you American?
Aren't you American?
Inline skating?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys watch that inline skating tournament? Sheesh. I don't know.
Oh, Jordan, you want to say the answer?
Is he Googling it?
No, I'm not Googling it. Wasn't his name is Eddie? Eddie, right?
Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie Alvarez. Okay, I don't know his last name. Eddie Alvarez.
He did inline skating, and then he just decided he got a medal at the Sochi Olympics, and then he decided that he wanted to switch to baseball, and he played on the Marlins last year. Well, he played on the Marlins last year because half the team was out with COVID, and then they called him up.
He's still on the team.
In minor leagues. Is he really? I haven't.
Let me look it up.
I haven't seen him play.
No, I don't think he plays, but I think
he's in the minors.
I'll tell you right now.
By the way, Jordan also is. He likes to hop around teams.
That's not true. Who do I help around with?
Oh, look at that Jacksonville hat, man.
Well, when my best friend plays for the Jaguars.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you.
I was actually with CJ yesterday. Or what's today, Monday?
Yeah,
I was with them on Saturday.
Oh, you guys watched the fight together?
No, we didn't. He was in Brickell, and my my grandmother had passed away over the weekend, and the funeral was on Saturday, which was
Oh, sorry about that.
all good. Thank you. It was at the funeral home right across from Versailles. And so that's like 10, 15 minutes away from Brickell. And so he texted me and we met up. We hung out for a little bit. And so, yeah. I'll probably go out to some of the games now that fans are allowed back and stuff like that.
Tell Trevor Lawrence I said hi.
Well, he said he's been looking all right. I mean, he said that he's thrown picks and stuff. So, I mean, he says that he wasn't like blown out of the water like Trevor Lawrence is so good. He's all right.
Well, I'm really excited to see Tebow.
We'll see. We were talking about Tebow too. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that I'm sure cannot be mentioned.
I mean, we're live, so I probably won't mention it.
No, you can hit me up later and tell me later.
Yeah, I got you. But I mean, it is cool having friends in the NFL because a lot of people think like, oh, there's things that are rigged and this and that, and it's just like there's a lot of conspiracy theories that are like proven wrong, a whole bunch of stuff that it's just like people just want to talk crap. But I mean, it is cool. It's cool. I mean, it's not often you have one friend, but two friends in the NFL. It's like crazy. So
that is crazy. That is really crazy.
Yeah, it is. People don't. I mean, I really don't. It really doesn't really hit me like, oh my god, my friends. Because I don't really see it as like, oh my god, like my friend is in the NFL. Like
fangirling, yeah.
Yeah, like he's my friend. He's been over to my house multiple times. He knows my family. I know his family. Like he made it, and I'm a fan, so I'm gonna support.
Yeah. Of course.
And it is weird when they play like the Dolphins and stuff like that because like I was a Dolphins fan, but like I also want him to succeed. So it has been weird, especially last season. Now that they're in the NFL, so yeah, it is weird, like rooting for.
And by the way, and before this ends, I have to blame you, Jordan. Like I have to blame you for something. Like my dad was watching the show the other night, and now this guy comes around the house saying, "You know, Tannehill's the GOAT." And I'm like, oh, man. I was like, this guy was listening to Jordan speak, bro. Tannen GOAT.
We'll see. They got Julio this year. We'll see what they got. See.
We gotta run fantasy football again, man.
For sure. And probably get Isaac in there. We guess what happened with Steven today? He just
Steven's just,
vacation.
Doing woman things, he's packing bags for his girlfriend and stuff like that.
Taking some shots at Steven, huh?
Yeah. It's okay. I take shots. And in which I want to say, my first time on the course, playing a full round of golf, I almost beat Steven.
You should have told me you were at Briar Bay. Briar Bay's like right next to my house. I would have gone with you guys.
You want to go? We're probably gonna go on Thursday.
Let's go.
Briar Bay is right. Yeah. You know.
Yes, I got my own clubs and everything.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, Thursday for sure. I'll let you know. I'll tell Steven to book the tee time, and we out there. I would invite Isaac, but he told me he was like, "Oh, I don't play golf.
I'm not interested."
Oh my god, Briar Bay is like mini golfing. It's like it's not a big.
It's not big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small course. Like it's not
only 9
like
holes.
what you think. Yeah, it's really small. It's like it's not. It's nothing crazy. So like if you are not good like me, I'm genuinely not good. I just have clubs because my dad goes and I go with him, so I just got clubs. You just come out, like it'll be fun.
It's really fun. I remember I was nervous. My first shot, I was so nervous because this is the first time I was hitting on the course. And dude, I wanked it, bro. It went wide, and there's this old guy sitting with a beer on the side, watching the whole thing, watching the ball, and then he looks at me and he goes. He lifts his beer. He's like, "Oh, that was a good one."
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as when I go with my dad and he's with clients or friends of his, and I'm like the worst one. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna play this hole. I'm just gonna drive the golf cart.
I think I forgot what hole it is, but there's a hole. I think it's like hole 5 where you have to hit it over the lake. I think that's the hardest one.
It's like a little pond. Yeah. Yeah, Briar Bay's small. Like, Isaac, if you don't have anything, you don't got anything going, you should come out. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
What time do you guys go?
Considering that we're having a monsoon of rain every day now,
That is true.
I think 5 o'clock will probably be best.
I'll
That
let
is
you know.
true. The rain has been bad.
Yeah.
Dude, horrible.
And I mean, unless I missed it when you guys first started the show, we didn't really talk soccer.
No, we kept off the soccer
No.
today. I think we've talked a lot. We talked a lot of soccer in the past few weeks.
I mean, it was the Euro Championship though.
Yeah, but some people are sensitive. I got some followers that thought it was going home, and
Yeah.
they're just a little
Instead it went to
disappointed.
Rome.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't Isaac or Steven.
No.
It was definitely Steven.
Yo, he was ready for England. Oh man, I'm so glad they lost. I was going for Italy.
Look, my heart said England, but my mind said Italy.
Dude, I was going for those two subs at the last minute were probably the worst two subs ever.
Yep. Three.
No,
Three
but
subs.
I told my dad, which Isaac made fun of sarcastically, and he's like, "Do you want a cookie?" I told my dad, I was like, if this goes to penalty shootouts, Gianluigi Donnarumma is going to be the key for Italy because he's a fantastic goalkeeper. It ended up being true.
I just think like in the moment, I know we've been going on for a little bit over an hour, but in the moment, like you get put in the last minute in the Euro final, in the last minute, and then you're going to penalties. Like, dude, that is a
19.
lot. That's why they're putting you in the game because they need somebody to shoot. So that's why you're in the game. And that's a lot of freaking pressure, dude. I don't know. I'm glad England lost, but that is a lot of pressure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's not. You see, this is why I commented on Behind the Booth because I don't want to be in that pressure.
I mean,
Not for me.
it's pressure. It's pressure on the coach, but it's more pressure on the kid, on the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a teenager.
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah.
He's what, like 19?
Yeah.
He's young. Yeah.
19 years old in front of this massive stadium. And you're in
home.
Wembley, in your home. Like you got the crowd behind you waiting to just go crazy, and then you just miss. Well, you don't miss, but you get stopped, and it's just heartbreak. Man,
To be honest,
to see that crowd be heartbroken was like amazing. It was an amazing feeling.
I just want to say it should have never gone home, or it should have never gone to Rome either. Should have gone to Madrid. That's where it should have gone. That's where it should have gone.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time this episode for that.
No, we don't have enough time this episode to get into that. Definitely not enough time. And without Steven here, Steven's gonna complain, "Oh, you guys talked about Spain without me. I wanted to trash you." But that's it.
Well,
We're gonna come back next week with a brand new episode. Hopefully Steven's here. If not, I might just kick him out and give Jordan his spot at this point.
Thank you, Jordan.
Steven's always, yeah, of course, no problem. I apologize for being late.
No, you're good, man.
But yeah,
you didn't miss much.
Thank you.
You didn't miss much. All right, guys. Thank you for watching and tuning in every week and looking at our posts on Twitter and Instagram. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode. Take care, guys.